Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for our Peace Day commemoration. My name is Erica, and I am one of the children's librarians here at the Berkeley Public Library. And with me is Shirley Kazuyo Muramoto, who is an amazing koto player, and we will be treated, you're welcome, and we will be treated to a selection by Shirley and her students in just a second. I'm going to share my screen, and the selection that Shirley and her students will be playing is called Senbonzakura.
Should I say what it means, or?
You can say what it means, yeah, before we start sharing the screen. If you'd like to go ahead and tell everyone what Senbonzakura means.
Okay. Senbonzakura means 1,000 cherry blossom trees. I know we were talking about 1,000 cranes, but this one's 1,000 cherry blossom trees. That was introduced by my middle school student, Noah, who lives in Berkeley. Yeah, he's been seeing and listening to lots of koto music online. So he said, let's play this, right? And so we were able to get together for the first time a couple weeks ago, live in one room. We're all vaccinated. So the koto is 6 feet long. So we use the koto to distance ourselves. So yeah, and I understand it's a song that's from an anime, but we couldn't figure out which one. So maybe somebody out there knows and can let us know. But yeah, so this is Senbonzakura.
We are happy to have you here with us for our virtual Peace Day program. This is a program that has been done for many years here at the library. This year, we have recorded several segments. This program is typically for ages 8 and up. First, because it's hard to fold origami cranes, but also because of the subject matter. This Peace Day program is a celebration of life and also dedicated to learning in an age-appropriate way about the tragic events on August 6, 1945, when an atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, Japan. We have this program in the spirit of peace and with the hope that never again should such devastating events occur. When we post this to YouTube, there will be timestamps so that you can return to the parts that you most want to see. We will start with a reading of a story about the short life of Sadako Sasaki, a young girl who, like many others, suffered from the effects of the atomic bomb. Then we will learn how to make origami cranes or tsuru, as Sadako did. We'll also be treated to more beautiful Koto music and finish out with an Obon Odori dance, which is a dance in Japanese culture to celebrate one's ancestors. Before we get started, I would like to start with the land acknowledgement and solidarity statement. The Berkeley Public Library acknowledges that we sit on the unceded traditional lands of the Ohlone people. We honor with gratitude the land itself, as well as the Ohlone people who still live, work, and play in this region. We stand in solidarity with all marginalized people that have been subjected to hatred and intolerance, and celebrate the differences that contribute to the strength of our community. Everyone is welcome here at the Berkeley Public Library. This program is sponsored by the Friends of the Berkeley Public Library. Thank you for joining us. And now, Sadako's story.
At 7:32 a.m. on August 6, 1945, air raid alarms sounded over Hiroshima. It was the end of World War II, and planes had been dropping bombs on Japan, so when the people of Hiroshima heard the air raid alarm, they knew to take cover. But when no bomb dropped, people relaxed, thinking there would be no airstrike. Tragically, they were wrong. In fact, the foreign plane that was above the city was a U.S. plane checking out weather conditions in preparation to drop a devastating atomic bomb. Less than an hour later, at 8:15 on August 6, 1945, the U.S. plane Enola Gay dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, causing a violent wind, intense heat, and a deafening sonic boom. The bomb exploded in the air above the city and devastated 4.5 square miles of the city. Hiroshima was the main manufacturing center of military equipment, but it was also home to about 345,000 people, including 2-year-old Sadako Sasaki and her family.
Tandy was cleaning out her backpack when her mother caught sight of a folded up piece of paper. "Did you make that?" her mom asked. Tandy said, her mouth full of cookies that she had found in her backpack. "We had some extra time in class, so Mrs. Nakamura taught us how to make these origami cranes. They're supposed to be a symbol of long life and good fortune." "I remember when I learned how to make origami cranes," her mother said. I might still remember how. One year, my friend and I tried to make 1,000 in honor of Sadako." "Oh, Sadako, I think I've seen that book in my school library. The 1,000 paper cranes, right?" Tandy asked. "Well, Sadako was a real person, not just a story in a book," her mom mentioned. "She was only 2 years old when the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima during World War II. Her family's home was a little more than a mile out from the blast." "I've heard about what happened. It sounds absolutely horrible. But wait." Tandy looked confused. "How was she only 2? I heard she folded a bunch of paper cranes to try to get a wish, right? It was hard for me to fold these cranes, and I'm 12.
Tandy's mom pulled a chair out from the table and sat down. Well, it didn't happen to her right away. There was a lot of radiation from the blast, and many people in Hiroshima got what was called atomic bomb disease. Sadako's parents got very ill from the radiation generated by the bomb, but they were relieved that she and her brother Masahiro didn't get sick. At least that's what they thought. 9 years passed and everything seemed to be okay. Masahiro was in 7th grade and Sadako was in 6th. They seemed like very healthy kids, especially Sadako. She loved sports, especially running. Ugh, not me, Tandy said. I don't like running. Well, Sadako did, and she was really good at it. She won just about every race she ran in. Her class was even training to compete in the relay for the grand field day, and everyone knew that Sadako was going to be the fastest and lead them to victory. They were right. They won the relay race during grand field day, and Sadako was a big part of that. But not long after that, she started to feel weak and dizzy, and then started to get a swelling behind her ears. What was wrong with her? Tandy asked.
They didn't know, her mom said, but she wasn't getting any better. So the doctors ran tests on Sadako, and they found out that she had cancer. So she wasn't okay after all those years? Is that why she folded all those cranes? Yes, when she was in the hospital getting treatment, a high school student sent cranes to the patients. Sadako remembered that if you folded 1,000 cranes, your wish was supposed to come true. She decided right then and there that that is what she was going to do. Did she really fold 1,000 cranes? Some stories say that she didn't, and her friends in school folded the rest. But her older brother Masahiro said that his sister folded the thousandth crane at the end of August 1955. After a month of working at it, she didn't have a lot of paper on hand, so she cut up wrapping paper from gifts and even used wrappers for medicine bottles at the hospital. Some say she folded between 1,300 and 1,600 cranes. She was in a lot of pain and was very brave. She died in October 1955, less than a year after she first showed symptoms.
What happened to all those cranes? When she was alive, they were in the hospital with her. But many years after Sadako died, her brother gifted some of the cranes to various sites all over the world. Some of Sadako's cranes are at the Hiroshima Peace Museum, at the Pearl Harbor Visitor Center, the 9/11 Tribute Center, the Austrian Study for Peace and Conflict Resolution, and the Japanese American National Museum in Los Angeles. Kids in Sadako's class raised money to put a marker in Peace Park, but news spread and donations began to pour in. A group of kids from Sadako's class developed an even bigger campaign involving kids from other elementary, middle, and high schools all over the city. By December 1956, they had raised enough money to make a memorial statue instead of just a marker. And in May 1958, the Children's Peace Monument was dedicated.
Engraved in the granite at the foot of the statue are these words: "This is our cry, this is our prayer, to create peace in the world." To this day, the statue is decorated with thousands of paper cranes sent by people throughout the world, including cranes we folded here in Berkeley.
Now we fold cranes to honor Sadako and those who died from the effects of the bomb, both in Hiroshima and from the atomic bomb that was dropped on the city of Nagasaki 3 days later. Unfortunately, atomic bombs much more powerful than the ones that were dropped on Hiroshima, and Nagasaki still exist. We also fold cranes in the spirit of peace and the hope that we will never again experience or cause such devastation. Sadako's older brother, Masahiro, is still alive and is 80 years old. He said, "One compassionate heart can create small peace around you. Small peace can then lead to big peace in the end."
Welcome to our Berkeley Public Library Storytime program. My name is Linda Sakamoto-Jonki, and I'm the coordinator of the Berkeley Reads Adult and Family Literacy Program. Today, I have the great honor of introducing Takayo, who is from Tokyo, Japan, and her daughter is 2.5 years old, also from Tokyo, Japan. She is generously helping me and all of the library in our program in folding origami paper to make an origami tsuru crane for us. So I thank you very much. Also, she wants me to tell you all, she loves children's story times at the Berkeley Public Library. Thank you.
Hi, this is origami.
Fold it into the big mountain. Fold again to the small mountain. Open. Okay. To make a square. Over and do another square. Peta peta, it's opened. Yes. Yes, pointed down. Right. Yes. Yes, and then go to the middle, go to the center. Fold into the center. Yeah, and that's the other side now. Fold into the center again. Yes. Yes. Fold down on the line. Line it. Fold it down. Turn it over. Yes, triangle shape. And then open it again. You're making the creases for the fold lines. Put your hand in. Where the fold line is. Fold it down. One side and do the same on the other side. Open it up, press it down on that fold line again. And you do it again. Beautiful. The diamond shape. Point downwards, the loose parts. Yes. And then from the middle, from the center, you fold in again. You fold in again into the center. Yes. Yes. On the other side, you do the same. Fold into the center line. And then you open it and you fold it up and into the crease. Yes. And you do it again on the other side. Fold it up into the crease. Same again. Yes, and now you're making the face. There's the face. Fold it down from the point. And then you open out the wings. And there you have the face and the tail of the Tsuru crane. Very nice. Oh, it's so beautiful. Beautiful. Kirei ganbatte.
So now you know how to make an origami crane. We have lots of books here at the library that can show you how to make an origami crane, because you might need to go a little slower. I was actually following along with Takayo and made my own crane from some paper that I happen to have along right beside me here. But you can also go back and watch the video again, and you can make cranes. Every year, people send millions, not just thousands, but millions of cranes to Hiroshima to be displayed at the Children's Peace Monument in Hiroshima Peace Park. And you can send them too, or you can string them and put them in your front window.
Or you can make them out of earrings, into earrings.
Yes.
Or necklaces. Right? Sorry, I didn't make one at real time, but yeah, these are, and someone else made these, I have to say. Right?
I just happened to have paper nearby. I wanted to see if I could still do it.
Now you have to make them really tiny. Right?
So next we have our Obon Odori dance. Shirley, would you like to tell us a little bit about the Obon Odori dance?
Oh, Obon Odori. Yeah. The summertime is a time for Obon. There's a lot of summer festivals that celebrate. This is like a festival to respect the people who came before us, kind of like the Mexican Dia de los Muertos, right? Yeah, similar to that, or All Saints Day, right? Yeah, and where, you know, we get together and celebrate the people who were part of our lives. It's more of a celebration than a day of mourning or something, right? Which I think is kind of better. Right, so we're going to be dancing to a song that I wrote with my friend Ben Paderna called Niji, which means rainbow. And to me, this represents the rainbow of all kinds of people that we have here in the Bay Area and all over the world, really, right? So, yeah, please join us in dancing Niji.
And oh, I see that there is a comment in the chat. Lovely dance, and it goes well with the jazzy music.
Jazz Obon.
Yes. There's also a question in the Q&A. Someone is saying, thank you for this wonderful event. If I have folded many cranes, is it possible somehow to donate some to the Children's Hiroshima project that you mentioned? Yes, definitely. I think if you just Google where to send cranes to Hiroshima, or where to send cranes at the Children's Peace Monument, I think that's how I got the address.
Right.
When we
The
sent.
Hiroshima Peace Peace Center in Hiroshima. Right. Yeah, I'm sure you can find it online somewhere, where you can send your cranes, paper cranes that you fold.
Yeah, if I can find it during the program, then I'll put it in the chat. But it's pretty easy. I found it online because we've usually done this in person, and we usually try to fold 1,000 paper cranes. We don't always make it to 1,000, but we always try to. And we've sent them to Hiroshima. So, and Shirley's been here in person in the past to play Koto for us.
Right. And help make paper cranes too.
Yes. So maybe next year, we're hoping that next year we'll all be able to get together in person, and we'll be able to fold cranes and try to get to 1,000, and we'll be able to hear Shirley and her students in person. Oh, there's a couple more questions in the Q&A. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, Luna said that they folded 1,600, trying for 1,000 times 2.
Wow.
That is amazing. That is wonderful. I love it.
Right. Well, you get a wish.
Yeah.
I mean, Sadako folded 1,000 cranes because she wanted, of course, she wished to get better. You know, she was suffering from leukemia and in the hospital. And I thought it was interesting to find out that she there wasn't that much paper that she could find in order to fold the cranes. She was told fold 1,000 cranes, but then, you know, so she asked people, you know, other patients that got gifts from other people, if she could use their wrapping paper or newspaper or even labels off of medicine bottles. And she just continued to make paper cranes out of any kind of paper she could find. So yeah, it was, if you make 1,000 cranes, cranes are supposed to live 1,000 years. So that's why they say, if you make 1,000 cranes, then hopefully you get your wish, right? I mean, you know, you can make a wish.
And if you ever get a chance to see some of the cranes that Sadako made, there are actually some that have been donated all around the world. And some of them are so really tiny because of the shortage of paper. So she had to make them very small. Nothing like this. That's really big.
Maybe like this, right?
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So next up, first, I would just like to thank you all for joining us. And I would also like to thank everyone who's contributed to the making of this video, especially Shirley. She has been wonderful with so many ideas and guidance, and we really couldn't have done it without you. So thank you very much, Shirley.
Oh, thank you, Erica, for spearheading the whole thing. Couldn't have done it without you. Yeah, yeah. You're in the video, your daughter's in the video, you know, I mean, really, it's a family affair, a community affair. I think it was just fabulous. Thank you for doing it.
You're welcome. And so next we have another Koto performance, 1,000 Cranes. Would you like to say anything about 1,000 Cranes?
Yeah, I really like this song. This song is composed by my friend Jun Kuromoto. She's also Koto musician in the jazz fusion band called Hiroshima. And she wrote this with her co-friend and collaborator, Derek Nakamoto. And it's mostly instrumental, but there is a little bit of a verse in there because it was kind of written for Sadako, and so the lyric is something like, show her now that we do care with the love that we all share. Send her your 1,000 cranes. Send her your 1,000 cranes. Right. And it's kind of, I like the song because the melodies is hopeful. It's simple and it's really beautiful. So I actually made a Koto ensemble version of it, and she gave us permission to do it. And thank you, June, for all your support as well. And the beautiful song, 1,000 Cranes. It's just one of my favorites.